It's been said, why isn't there a straight pride? You've heard that before, I'm sure, right?
I've heard that before.
And the answer to me is really easy. There's no straight pride because your life is not in danger.
For being who you are.
For being who you are, exactly. Yes. And so welcome everyone to our podcast. I'm with
Jean Ketch.
And here I am, Pastor Marco. Nice to have you. We were looking at the news yesterday. I was looking at the news yesterday, and there was this petting zoo, actually, with kangaroos and whatnot. And every year they've been having this, I guess, party or whatever it is. And they would have trapezist and hula hoop artists and drag queens.
Yes.
Now the problem came when they said, "Well, we're gonna have drag queens like we had in the years past," and then on social media it caught on fire, like this is woke
because social
culture.
Media is the pit of hell.
Okay, well, tell me more about the pit of hell, because I've heard that many times. For me, I like social media because I get inspired. It depends on where you look, right? And what you're looking for. But oftentimes I will get inspired. But there's also, if you look at the comments, it can be extremely poisonous. And I don't look at the comments most of the time.
And hate spreads so quickly on social media. We want love to spread, but it's hate that spreads on social media.
Why is it?
I don't know.
Because to me, because I was looking at the comments underneath and we'll have for you guys at home, we'll have the article link below if you want to read it. I think it was on the Calgary Herald or Edmonton. Okay. And so we'll have the link for you. You can go and take a look at it. And there were some not face screen, but screenshot of some of the comments on Twitter. And I think someone said, well, the only way I want to go is I go with a gun or something like that. And that is not only hateful, it is hate speech, and also very dangerous just to hold the event.
Absolutely. So what they've had to do is, because the LGBTQ cause is important to the fellow who owns the zoo. Mike Shepard, his name is. So he's not canceling the gay parade or the event, the drag queens, but he's had to cancel the contortionists, the hula hoop artists, the trapeze people, the other acts. So now it's only drag queens, and he has to spend that money on security.
That's right.
Ridiculous. First of all, I don't get it. Drag queens read in libraries, and they are always boycotted. If you don't want your kid to be exposed to a drag queen, don't take your kid to drag.
Yeah, exactly.
With a queen. Yeah. But this event is for 18 plus. So no children are going to be exposed anyway. I don't understand where this hate comes from. It makes no sense. And please don't tell me it's because a man is dressing up like a woman. First of all, not all drag queens are gay. I don't know if you knew that.
No, I knew that for sure.
There are a lot of drag queens that are not gay.
And there are not all men either. There are some drag queens that are women.
Right?
Yeah.
But, and it's nothing new. Do you remember Flip Wilson? Okay, no, you grew up in Quebec. American TV show, Flip Wilson, he was a black fellow, and he had an alter ego on his show when I was a child, Geraldine. Right? And he wore this orange wig that had the flip on the bottom. That's a man dressing up as a woman. Mrs. Doubtfire, for God's sakes, Robin Williams.
Exactly, right? Exactly. And the thing is, I think what people don't understand about drag queens most of the time, I believe, and especially the people that left negative and hateful comments on the Twitter feed of that petting zoo, is that drag queens are basically a parody and exaggeration of a woman, right? They're basically clowns in some form, like drag. I don't want to simplify or oversimplify it or being too reductive, but it's not as they see it as a perverted kind of thing that will a perverted show that will pervert the children and give them an example that they should follow. And I find that very interesting because I'm a gay man, and I'm not a gay man because I catch it from another gay man, right? Or because I watched a movie. I am who I am.
I have watched Mrs. Doubtfire. My children watched Mrs. Doubtfire. I grew up watching Flip Wilson and Geraldine. I'm a straight woman, right? It has nothing to do with what you're exposed to.
It's
who you're born.
Well, absolutely. Like, I remember when we had that conversation, I said, well, when did you came out to your parents as a straight woman? How did they react? You don't have to come out as straight, right?
No, because I'm heteronormative.
That's right.
Normative means that's what society expects, right?
Or see as the norm or normal, right?
Normal, yes.
Yeah. So, yeah. Also, what I'm seeing in this right now, in that particular, that specific event, that petting zoo being, under scrutiny from really hateful people, I see a movement as well in all this. Like, this is just kind of the tip of the iceberg. I see, because we've seen the crimes against Black and brown people going like very high in the past few years. We've seen crimes against Muslims and Jewish people also rising exponentially. Like, I don't.
And the crimes against the LGBTQ.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And the violence. What's interesting is that it is how violent these attacks are. Like, the violence is high. Like, how can I say this?
It's increasing.
It's increasing, but the violence of the crime itself. It's not just a punch in the face now anymore. It's on the floor, kicking and guns and so on.
It reminds me back of the 1980s when AIDS first came out.
Mm-hmm.
Remember?
Mm-hmm.
And how horrible it was for the LGBTQ community, and the gay nightclubs, and the people who go to them being beaten almost to death. It wasn't just slander and slurs. It was physical, I'm going to frickin' kill you.
Yeah, well, you may not know this, and probably the people watching or listening don't know this either, but I want to say that all gay men have known another gay man that has been physically attacked. Like, we've all known them. If it was not us, we've known someone has been physically
I imagine that would be true because you're quite a close-knit community.
Yeah. And so what kind of worries me about this, and that's where I wanted to get at, is that you have these very few loudmouths and violent loudmouths on social media, which is a very coward way of, expressing your opinions, if you ask me.
Absolutely.
Then it silences everybody. Like, they come in, they bully, and everybody's kind of taken aback because of the violence of the comments, like the absurdity of the comments. And everybody kind of stays quiet because they don't want to get involved. And that's where the danger come, in my opinion, in the sense that it becomes dangerous because it quiets people. And then they seem to understand that they have a voice and a power. And in that case, they feel like they have a power because now the guy is canceling performers and asking for security, or paying for security. So in a way, they won.
In a way, they won. Yeah. But in a way, they didn't, because the drag show's not being
canceled for sure.
The drag show's not being canceled.
Yeah.
But the rest of it that makes for the party is being canceled. So it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense.
And how many other shows, other people that have planned on doing some shows, of drag shows, will cancel it because of the reaction over here?
I have friends who have had story time with the Queen in their library.
Mm-hmm.
And God bless them for doing it. I don't have that courage in my small town. But the hate that they get is astronomical. They've never had anything actually happen at the event, but oh my goodness, they hate.
Social media and phone calls and whatnot,
phone
right?
calls and letters
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
board and petitions trying to get the library closed down, calling their funders, letters to their funders trying to get the library
Hmm.
closed. Like, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Drag queens, it's an art. It's an art form. It's not somebody who's confused with his gender. It's an art form. Their makeup is phenomenal. Their clothes,
The artistry of it.
the artistry,
Yeah,
it's phenomenal,
yeah.
right? And it teaches. So this is only for adults, and I don't get why it's only for adults, except they probably have some pretty raunchy shows happening, perhaps.
Well,
right?
maybe not. What I'm thinking is maybe it's a petting show, like it's a petting zoo, and maybe for insurance purposes, kids can't be there because it would, I don't know.
Well, kids go to the petting zoo.
And if it's 18 and over, like and older, well, so be it.
But
Like
but exposing children to drag queens is amazing in what it teaches them, and it has nothing to do about teaching them with homosexuality. It has to do with teaching them about imagination. It has to do with teaching them tolerance, right? So Brad Pitt, who is the epitome of the
macho, masculine, alpha male,
straight white alpha male, wore a skirt and a tank top of some sort to the film festival in Cannes. Why is it that only women get to experiment with how they look, right? I can wear pants, I can wear a dress, I can go without makeup, I can have extravagant makeup, or I can have my normal look of just a little bit of makeup, right? I can have my hair long, I can have my hair short, I can have it curly, I can do whatever I want. But the minute a man
expresses
himself in anything other than Wranglers and cowboy boots and a ball cap, he's put down.
By the way, that's what I wear all the time, and I'm gay, so there.
But what I'm saying is that if you expose these kids to men who are being way, just a lot, right? Way out of the normal boundaries, then when they see the people at West Edmonton Mall that have the bright pink hair or the tattoos everywhere or the piercings, they have a different way of looking at them, right? They don't look at them and say, oh my God, that's weird, because they've already been exposed to weird. They've been exposed to things that are outside of the normal. And that's what we want. So you're not trying to teach children to become gay. What we're trying to do is expose them to things that are outside of their circle.
But I think you're touching an interesting point, because I'm sure that the people that have posted all these comments never seen a drag queen show in their lives. It's just out of assuming what it would be like. It's out of prejudice, probably. But I'd like to go maybe on a little tangent here, if you will. Where is the religiosity in this? Because oftentimes these comments come from church-going people. I'm not going to call them Christians. I'm going to call them church.
Are we going to talk about LGBTQ in the church today? Is that what we want to do?
Oh, well, how about we talk about that? What time is it now? How about we talk about that later?
Okay. Because
on another show.
Because let me tell you, I have some thoughts about LGBTQ.
I know you do. And like.
And I'd like to share them with the world.
Yeah, well, I'd like to do that too. But maybe we can close with this. What would be a solution, you think, to that event over there? I think, in my opinion, I'm going to answer that question first. As I see it, I think they went the right. They decided to do the right thing in canceling some performers, but to keep the drag queens and hire security.
Yes.
Therefore, the show keep on going. Like, they're not going to be silenced, right?
Right.
And I think they went on. But in your opinion, what would be a solution, not only for that petting zoo owner, but for other that would want to do the same
I
thing and
don't
have
know
been
what this-
silenced.
I don't know what the solution is because, as I said, I'm not brave enough to do it. And I've been told by friends, the LGBTQ community in Red Deer will support you.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, they will. If I were to bring a drag queen into Rimbey,
Mm-hmm.
the LGBTQ community would be right there to make sure that I had enough people and that it was fun, but they would not be there in the weeks following when my board and town council and county council
That's right. That's right.
and the provincial government get these letters to
That's right.
defund the Rimbey Library. And I'm a little exhausted, so I don't have the time to fight that or the energy to fight that. I wish I'd like somebody else to fight that for me. But I think maybe Rimbey's too small. Calgary is not too small. There should be no issue with having drag anything in Calgary.
The problem in Calgary is that there's the anonymity of the crowd. You can be anonymous in a crowd and yell.
So, are there not drag theaters in Calgary? Like, I know there are gay bars, there are gay clubs. Are there not clubs that host drag events in
I
Calgary?
have no clue. I've lived in Lacombe and Rimbey ever since I've been
Right.
here, and
So
I've never been into
Why
a.
aren't they boycotting them? What is it with petting zoo that makes people?
Because it becomes mainstream. It's out of the basement bars, if you like, the bars that are in basement, and that, like, now it's kind of open to the public.
Right.
I think that's where the problem is, and it's not in the gay village, and it's not in a gay bar anymore. Like, they're going where they live, and they don't like that.
But if you don't like it, don't go.
Yeah, well,
right? If you don't like it,
well,
don't go.
it's just like if you're against same gender wedding, just don't marry someone the same sex, right? Like, why?
Yes. Like, how does it affect you?
But anyways,
How
let's
does it
stop.
affect me?
Let's stop here for our podcast for today, and we'll come back with another podcast or discussion on LGBTQ and church.
But just another observation, okay? The drag queens are out there, right, with their makeup and their hair and their clothes. Has anyone taken like a Dolly Parton lately?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Right? She does not look like me. She's been enlarged a few times.
And she's bigger than life, just like drag queens are. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And her hair, that's not her normal hair. And have you seen her eyelashes and her fingernails? Like, so why is it?
She's a woman.
She's a woman.
She's a woman, and she's not playing on gender. She's not playing on gender. She's an heterosexual woman, right? But let's keep that for our next discussion. I know there's a lot we could talk about.
Yeah, this whole drag queen thing, it's amazing.
It's Eddie
Murphy. Eddie Murphy did a movie, I think, where he was the only character in the movie, and he played his mother, he played his sister, he played his father. So what is different about this?
I need to ask them. Anyways, okay, guys, thank you so much. This is
Jean Ketch
and Pastor Marco Ste-Marie. Thank you so much for humoring us and watching us. Please share this. Please do share this. It may just be what someone needs to hear today. Please share this. Until our next podcast, thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.